thing about the debate between Hillary and Trump. Yeah, Trump's done some D-bag things or whatever, but when you guys know what Pizzagate is about?
Oh, I'd love to hear it, Eddie.
Are you familiar with it?
Pizzagate?
Yes.
No, but sounds
you have no,
dope.
Yes,
okay.
I do.
You know
but
what
I've
that
never
is?
heard of it. Please
Yes,
explain to me.
so-
I'm not going to explain it. I'm not even going to get into it, but all I'm
Such
going to
bullshit,
say.
Eddie, before you go into it,
Pizzagate?
it's been debunked. It's the biggest bunch
It's
of
been
bullshit.
debunked.
Dude,
Oh, hell no.
Eddie,
Oh, my
it's the
God.
biggest. It's fake news. They
Fake?
proved it's fake news.
You're so
and
on
if you
that
believe
side.
that,
You're so
it's
on that
ridiculous.
side.
It's
You're
the big. So the Democratic, the power structure in the Democratic Party are pedophiles, and they all communicate with each other with those secret paddles. Is this what we're going to go
We're
into?
gonna pop off like this?
Eddie,
We're
look
gonna
at
kick
me.
the
Look at me,
community
Eddie.
off like this?
It was proven to be a horseshit story. If you buy into it, the joke is on you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Unbelievable,
Did you hear
Bryan.
what? That's very unbelievable. It's
Unbelievable.
incredible.
So what is the so are you saying what? Are you saying that the power
Listen,
structure
you know
are
what?
pedophiles?
This is what I'm saying.
Come on.
This is what I'm.
This is ridiculous.
What?
But hold on a second.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying is, it's so fucking dark. All the shit Alex Jones has been saying. He's been saying all that Pizzagate shit for 20 years. He's been saying everyone thought he was you couldn't believe anything he said because of the things he's saying. Now, when you look at Pizzagate, all that shit he was saying that everyone thought he was crazy for, that shit's real now.
It's a fake
And-
news story, Eddie.
Dude,
It's a
you
fake
are-
news story. Every every credible news organization's
Like
editorial
who?
board went,
What,
it's
CNN?
all bullshit.
CNN?
Like, I don't know.
Washington
let's call
Post?
it
Where do you get your
Shore
news, Bryan?
Or the
Where do you
New
get
York
your news,
Times or
Bryan?
The Economist. Take both sides. Take the right and the left. It's a joke. It was a joke.
Wow.
It
All
was
I
a
gotta
joke.
say is wow.
So Eddie, so the power structure.
Is it- you think it's a joke?
Eddie,
Too
the
much.
power structure are all pedophiles? What are you talking about?
Hey,
what are you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
Man love? So the power
Hey, listen,
the power
listen,
structure
listen,
are
Brian's coming in.
pedophiles.
Brian's
It's a
coming in.
joke.
Brian,
It's
have
a
you-
joke.
Have you
Brian's
seen
coming in
have you seen the
hard.
documentary Conspiracy of Silence? Have you seen that?
Sure haven't, buddy.
You still, of course you
Sure
haven't.
haven't. I don't get
'Cause
my
you're
news
so
from
far on the other
YouTube.
side.
I don't get my news from YouTube. I get my news from
CNN?
credible,
Washington
credible,
Post?
credible news organizations.
Joe, talk to
from
this guy.
independent lines of inquiry.
Hey, Joe, can you do me a favor since
Okay,
I'm outside
Brandon
looking?
Shaw.
What is Pizzagate?
Okay,
In layman
Pizzagate
terms.
is there's a guy who worked for Hillary Clinton's campaign. His name is Podesta, right? John Podesta, that's his name. There's some pizza restaurant is it in D.C.?
Is that where it's
I
at?
believe it's in
There's
Washington.
two of them. Comet Ping Pong and Besta Pizza.
And apparently they have art that's like this kind of famous pedophile-like
Well, it's two ping
bizarre
pong paddles,
art.
which is close to the man love.
Is that all it is?
organizations.
What about those paintings? There
Man Love's
there was-
okay?
No, I'm not.
He's not saying. He's just saying it's
No.
just also.
So it's
happened to
a
be two
pizza
ping pong
restaurant with
paddles.
some paintings on the wall.
But Brian, what are the paintings that they're being accused of having? Like,
So the
there's
man
some
love. So the
strange-
man love.
No, but not
has-
that. Not
yeah.
the symbol. There's
Right.
there's some paintings that were connected to. Do you know what I'm talking about? There was some like very bizarre. It disturbed the shit out of me so much. I said I don't want to spend any time looking at this. You know what I know for sure though? For sure, 100%. That Speaker of the House guy, Dennis Hassert,
Yeah.
that got put away for like 15 months.
Yeah.
For being an admitted child molester.
That's
Right.
The idea that you could only get, and the idea that this guy was the Speaker of the House.
Yikes.
He was the Speaker of the House, and he was fucking kids when he was a wrestling coach.
And eating
Yeah.
pizza?
No, this is a different guy.
Well, that was statute
I'm just
of
trying to
limitations.
tie everything around.
I
man.
don't know what it was. I don't know if it was because he's old and he's very sick and ill, but it means nothing to me. The idea that you could get a admitted kid fucker and you only give him 15 months.
That's shady.
There's more to the story. and I can't
I'm sure
remember
there
what it was.
is.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is more to the story, but the facts remain that guy got a very short sentence and was the Speaker of the
Eddie,
House
can you convince
and
me of
was a
Pizzagate?
child molester.
I don't
mean,
want
he
to.
really 100% was a child molester.
Yeah, but there are always going to be pedophiles in that
Right,
group.
but instead of having
Too
this
scary.
like gigantic blanket attitude that what he's saying is ridiculous and then getting super emotional about it, let's just look at the actual fact that a guy who is a pedophile was the Speaker of the House.
has nothing to do with the story.
You're right, it doesn't. But to mock the idea that people who are pedophiles can't get to high positions of power was exactly what you were doing.
It's not at all what I was
You were
doing.
getting real emotional
Because
about
I was
it.
getting emotional because this story was proven through many independent lines of inquiry
I believe
to be literally a hoax. And when you give it a voice, when it's a hoax, and you know these people look at it way closer than anybody at this table. It's not
Well,
about the conspiracy theory here. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, guys, hold on. This was a big hoax, and so many different people who looked at it who don't have an agenda. They looked into it and they went, whoa, what's going on?
So it's a fake story by
It's
one
a
of those
fake
fake
story,
news
man.
sites.
Yeah,
that
so we
just
have to be
makes
very
up stuff.
careful. Do we really want to spend time on fake stories? Let's talk about real stories.
Let me
that's all.
establish where I am. I know the very brief outline of what it's all about. I know that a lot of people think they're pedophiles and crazy and Satan worshipers, and there was some spirit cooking thing, some bizarre thing that was released in an email about something that Podesta was going to get
And that's
into.
true, right?
Yeah,
That
apparently
is.
that's true, but it's like some bizarre. I don't know what the fuck it is.
It's
I mean,
dark
who knows?
shit.
It's weird.
It's not. I don't know. But
The guy who knows all of it won't speak up over here.
Well,
You know
it's
what?
just-
I've looked into it deeply, and all conspiracy theories make sense to me now. I get it.
Every single one?
I get.
Every single one, sir?
sir.
Dude, there's a
not
fight.
every single one.
There's a fight
Not
going
everyone,
on.
Ed.
Can
Bryan,
a
Benoit.
can a guy speak in general terms without being checked every goddamn time?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, it's
yes.
general.
Oh,
General.
gotcha.
When a guy
Damn.
says, "Oh, he beat him every goddamn time," like
I would
not
say
every
every time?
goddamn time, but
Okay.
90% of the time.
Do you know who
Do
you're
we have to
around?
explain this shit every
But
time?
Eddie, would you
What,
admit-
in speaking in general terms, or do
No,
I gotta
that's
be?
fine.
Do I gotta give you actual numbers?
Yes, but Eddie, would you admit
Jesus.
that human beings, you, me, all of us, tend to get a feeling, and then we have what's called confirmation bias, which is we'll find. We
Hey,
all do
listen,
it. We all do it, dude. I do it. We all do it. We'll find facts to support our feeling. That's so human. Listen, all you have to do is hear an argument between me and my wife, and I'll fucking justify it any way I can because I find facts to get to
that
pile
proves
on
it.
my side.
There you go.
There you
So-
go. Oh,
and let me
you
guess,
should
you
have
watch
just put it like that
CNN,
earlier.
Brian?
Yeah. So let's all be careful about confirmation bias.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is, like, to get super emotional and say it's impossible. Like, I don't necessarily think it is impossible if that Speaker of the House guy was in place.
This story in particular, Pizzagate.
You just gotta look into it.
I know
was
zero
a
about
fake
it.
story.
But let me
That's what I'm
from
saying.
where I am, I looked into it very little. I saw it was. I'm like, I'm gonna just let this scuffle go on, and then look into it when the dust settles in
Yeah.
a couple weeks.
That's
and people
usually
Yeah,
smart.
that scared the. That's
figure out exactly what it
That's-
is, whether it's bullshit or real.
it made me looking into it made me want to shut the fuck up about conspiracy theories because people get killed
God damn,
with this
Doug.
shit when you actually look into it. And I like Bryan Callen, when you actually look into
Yeah.
it with an open fucking mind.
Yes.
Mr.
Narrow-minded.
Trust the
Bryan
government on
Callen.
everything.
God
shit.
damn it, Brian.
I
Like,
trust the
damn,
government. I don't trust the
dude,
government.
you need to
You
be
know,
a politician,
Eddie-
bro.
Eddie, you had me
you
at
would love
Pizzagate.
that shit.
I
But
think
all I'm
the
saying
truth is somewhere in the middle. You know, I think everybody picks a position, and I bet it's probably not nearly as fucked up as everybody's making it out to be. But there's some weird. First of all, that Podesta guy's like really into UFOs too.
I know.
There's smoke, there's
Oh,
fire.
wait, guys. No, I'm sorry. I have
Isn't
to
he?
stop.
Isn't Podesta really
Hold on,
into UFOs?
hold on. I don't believe so.
Wait a
And-
minute. I
being
wish you
a
could
fake-
cite what it said
You can't
and what,
cite
I,
what
what
haven't,
the
I
the
issue
actually
was.
have the article.
Okay, but
on my phone.
Pull
but
it up.
Just tell us
Well,
when.
just give it to
Give
Jamie.
to
We'll
young
throw it
Jamie.
up on one of the big screens.
And then
Yeah.
we'll knock this out.
Yeah, all I gotta say is I don't even want to get into it. But all you need to do is go to YouTube and watch the Conspiracy of Silence. It's a documentary.
How long is
that
it?
was supposed to be on the BBC, but they never aired it.
Who made it?
Your mother, Callen.
No, who made it? It's important, right?
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, Disney made it. How about that?
But Eddie, don't
Would you
need
believe
to,
it if Disney
here,
made
here,
it?
I
What
would.
the hell is Pizzagate? Here it is, Jamie. I'm gonna give this to you. Hold on. Hold, please.
just tell
everyone.
him what it is, and he'll get it
I-
online.
I'm-
he has
I
a
got to
computer
show
as
him.
well. It's interesting because the two of you guys are so on the opposite end of the whole
incredible.
conspiracy thing.
Complete
You
opposites.
tend to immediately go towards conspiracies. He tends to immediately go towards the mainstream.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
doing.
no,
I'm
no,
I'm
no,
responsible
no,
to
no, no,
evidence.
no,
middle.
I
I'm in the
tell you.
middle.
No,
I'm
it's like
responsible
this.
to
I'm in the middle.
evidence.
Guys.
I want someone to convince me.
It's not that.
That's
That's
what
not
I
that.
wait for.
What it is I tend to not trust shit they say. He tends to trust everything they say.
Mr.
That's what it
CNN.
really is.
That's not a fair
Dude,
characterization.
you're
Eddie.
always on the
It's not
official
true.
story side,
Eddie,
dude. You're one
Eddie,
of those
Eddie,
guys.
Eddie.
You're one
I
of those
read-
guys.
I
You're always.
I read
You are-
credible
These two
news
came in
sources.
hot.
Washington
credible,
Post,
not just
CNN,
Washington Post. I mean, not just
New York Times.
No, I read
New York
The
Times,
Economist, which is
Washington
the
Post.
second oldest magazine in the world.
You read all the
Do you know how-
propaganda.
do
You read
know
all
how-
the bullshit.
Do you know how those editorial boards
You
work?
study the bullshit.
Eddie, do you know how those editorial boards work? Do you know? Do you really think that the entire editorial board of the New York Times or the Economist or the Wall Street Journal, where people who run the country and the world get their information, do you think all those people are lying, getting together, and being conspiratorial to give us fake news? And for what? Is that really what you believe?
That's exactly. It's been proven. They spent $500 million. It's
Eddie,
put up the
answer
YouTube.
my questions.
The Pentagon
do you believe
said-
that? Do
Yeah,
you believe
I
it?
do believe
So
it.
everything
I
that the
do.
New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, the Economist reports
Not
is a lie?
everything. Not everything.
Then what, though?
Just the agenda.
Why?
Just getting the agenda.
Why?
You know what Agenda 21 is?
I don't, Eddie, but I
Do you
want
know
you
what,
to tell me
you know
why.
what the New World Order is?
I don't, but
Do you know what? Of course you don't.
because you think a
Of
small
course
group
you
of people
don't.
are controlling everything, like the world economy or the
Of
oil
course.
markets. How? Do you know how oil is priced? Do you know how oil is priced?
How?
Okay, it's an open market commodity. It's a world commodity, right? So it really depends on how much is available in that given day. So for an example, you may have an oil tanker that's on its way to a country, and then somebody on the market, in the marketplace, bids on that oil and wants that oil. And that ship will turn back around and go to that market. It all depends on what the marketplace and what all the different players who need oil and the amount of oil that's available, whether it's crude or raw, whatever it might be. There's so many different factors that go into pricing oil.
Drop that
Look at
knowledge
what
in.
happened. Look at what happened when we came up with ways to shale to get the oil out of the shale sands, right? Well, what happened? The price of oil went down because the United States became an exporter of oil. There was an oil glut, and that's why Russia's having a major problem because their oil used to be $100 a barrel. What is it, $47 a barrel or something? So what I'm saying is that's how oil is priced. That's how things are.
okay.
You're talking
Now
about
I
a
know.
massive organism called the world economy, called the U.S. economy, where there are so many different moving parts and so many different competing interests. So to say that one group of 7 men or whoever they might be, or 21 men, controls things, is holding the strings, is Hollywood movie stuff. It would be impossible. It's hard to control anything. Even in Washington, it's such a chaos fuck job.
Man, you are so far on the other goddamn side. There's
Isn't it
you're
possible
one of
that
those
the
dudes.
truth's in the middle there somewhere?
No.
That they
You're
do
one of
such
those
controlling?
You all right?
It's not possible.
No, but I mean, people of influence, people like the people that run the World Bank, people that have massive influence over just enormous sums of money. Don't you think it's possible they can have some influence due to the relationships
all
that they have
try.
with people?
They all try, and
right.
they
and they
do.
have
They
some.
They all try.
They
like,
have
you
some.
know what's
They
going on.
try
He
and
knows
they
what's
do
going
it.
on at the top. He knows what's going on.
What I'm saying is that, again, they're competing with each other.
Right,
There's
I
so many
totally
different
understand.
competing, right?
I totally understand.
I mean, that's the issue.
Right.
The World Bank is a massive bureaucracy.
Right.
The IMF is a massive bureaucracy.
No, I
know?
completely understand. I think there has to be some sort of control and manipulation involved.
Well,
right?
let me give you an example. So let's take
Collectively,
the
don't you think?
division. Let's take the Latin American Bank, which is I think it's a subsidiary of the World Bank, I believe. And I sat next to this guy on the plane, and talked to him, and he said that so much of the sort of projects and the money, what they were there for was to essentially give money to investments in the Latin American economy, to build up the Latin American economy in one way or another.
Amazing.
And I'm generalizing. What happens sometimes is that bank no longer becomes necessary because the economy of Latin America, whatever that country is running on its own. So now, here's a conspiracy for you, which makes sense. Now
here
they
we
go,
go.
but now they go, well, we got 3,500 people who are working at the bank, the Latin American Bank. If there's nothing left for them to do, we got to come up with something for them to do. And now they have a vested interest in staying in business because you got 3,500 people whose jobs are at stake. Now you can come up with projects that are fake, or you'll you guys still need us, because we should do this and that. That makes sense. That would be, if you want to call that conspiracy theory, I would call that people who just want to hold on to their jobs and come up with reasons to exist.
Do you know what Operation Mockingbird is?
Of course
No.
he doesn't.
Of course you don't.
I don't, buddy.
Of course
I'm not
because
on
if
this
you
stuff.
did, you wouldn't be saying all that shit.
Did you hear what I said? Did I say anything that
I
was
have
that
no
radical?
idea what the fuck you said. I
Wow.
wasn't listening to shit.
Meanwhile,
well, you-
Moreno's got a good top game here,
It's been
son.
a good fight, too.
Moreno's got a good
look
top
into
game.
Operation Mockingbird. You're
Strong.
Where can I
It's
look
been
that
a
up?
good round.
anywhere.
What do you
At the
mean?
library.
But can I
At
look
the
at
library.
Libraries are not real, bro.
The library won't have
Operation
it.
Mockingbird. Show it up, Jamie.
Why do you believe?
Operation Do you know what Operation
why,
Mockingbird
Why do
is?
you believe in all these conspiracy theories? Like
It's not, Operation Mockingbird is not a conspiracy
wait.
theory. That's not a conspiracy
what
theory.
is,
but why do you believe
well,
a documentary on YouTube over The Economist? Why would you believe? And you don't even know who made it, but you believe in a documentary versus.
You're talking about some shit you've never seen. Just because it's on YouTube, it's like, it's not real, it's on YouTube.
Well,
you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well,
You're talking about some documentary there. You believe that documentary. You don't even know what it is. You believe that? How could you believe that?
No, I'm
you
asking
don't even know what it is.
I'm asking why
You've
believe
never
it.
even seen it.
Why do you believe it?
Because
hold on,
I've seen it,
Bryan,
and I've seen people talk.
We
and
don't-
and there's evidence. I see the evidence. I don't read about it. I see the evidence.
Can I step in as you both of your friends?
Absolutely.
We've gotten so crazy here that you guys are arguing, and we haven't even discussed what this movie's about. Like, it hasn't even been whether or not it is a Operation Mockingbird, whether it was a conspiracy theory or whether it was a real event. We didn't even discuss what it is, and you guys are at each other's throats. It's kind of crazy. I mean, we literally didn't even bring up what the subject is, and Bryan, you jumped on him.
No, I did not.
They both jump on each
Excuse me,
other.
sir.
You
No,
did.
Excuse me, sir.
You did, because this
Excuse
seems to
me.
be a real
You started
thing.
talking about
Well, no,
Pizzagate.
you can't say it's a real thing because of Wikipedia.
Yeah.
It's on the internet.
Sir, you brought up Pizzagate. All I do with Pizzagate is I go, there's
saying,
MC.
please
You're the
don't bring
goddamn
up
MC.
Pizzagate.
I just want to know what Pizzagate was.
You're the fucking shit.
I don't even want to talk about it. And I don't even want to talk about it.
You! He's the guilty fuck.
Everybody brings it up, and I don't. I just
You
said
brought
what
it up.
Pizzagate
God
was.
damn it. No, look at him. He's the one who's
I've
the
never
shit
heard of
stirrer.
Pizzagate. I was fucking interested. Then you two went fucking
Oh, did you
ham.
bring it up?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. You threw kindling on the fire.
we should
Look
have
at
talked
you. Look at
beforehand.
he's all
Why
here.
did I think Eddie brought it up? The whole time I'm like,
Maybe
I
I
can't believe
brought it
they're
up
fighting
because I
over
just wanted
something
to-
called
I-
Pizzagate.
I
He
just
said
wanted to-
Pizzagate,
I
and I, was
think I
like, holy
brought it
shit,
up.
that sounds interesting. You had me at Pizzagate.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what it was.
And then
But I
went
just
off.
wanted to say, because a lot of people on the internet want me to bring that shit up, and I'm like, I really don't want to bring it up. That's some scary shit. When you really look into it, shit that you've never done, when you actually look into it, when you look into
that
it,
you've
we're
never
almost
done.
out.
doesn't
We're
even know.
almost out.
Operation Mockingbird is a CIA operation where they were to prevent and control communism infiltration. They thought it would be best to buy up as many different broadcasting companies, and they wanted to own the media. They wanted magazines, newspapers. CNN is part of that shit. Anderson Cooper is admitted a CIA agent. He admits it. He goes, "Yeah, I was in the CIA. So what?"
Anderson Cooper?
Well,
So-
he actually worked for them, like when he was in college. Is that what it was?
dude, when you're
He
in
did
your
an internship or something like that.
Dude,
Yeah, it's
you don't have
totally
to go to the
possible.
CIA college to be a CIA agent.
No,
they
no,
make,
no,
they
no,
make
no. I
random
think while
dudes
he was-
internationally CIA agents
Anderson
and
Cooper,
assets.
look at me. Anderson Cooper's not a CIA agent.
He could be.
Look into it.
Guys.
Look
He
into
worked
it.
for the CIA.
Look, CIA had
tell you
an
something.
Operation Mockingbird. We're
Let's
going to control the
pretend-
media. You buy into the media. That's why you don't know about Operation Mockingbird.
Well, no.
You've been caught.
Eddie,
They
I definitely
got
don't
you.
buy in the
They got
media.
you.
I don't buy in the media.
Oh, they got
I
you.
do not
let's
buy in the
pretend.
media.
Dude, they got you strong, son.
A long time ago,
I bet you're
too, Eddie.
pro-vaccine, right?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
very
there you go. Of
pro-vaccine.
course.
Okay.
You're anti-vaccine all the way across?
Okay.
Have you? You're not really. Not for smallpox, diphtheria, measles, and all the thing, and mumps and all the things.
That's all fake
all
shit,
vaccines aren't the same. So when you talk
Yes,
about vaccines,
it's true.
they're not all the same.
True.
Some can be safe and
Okay.
some can be dangerous.
That's cool. That's true. I can understand
That's
that.
all I'm going to say about
All
that.
right. That's all right.
That's
That's a
fair.
reasonable thing.
I
to say.
agree with Eddie on
many,
that.
Many doctors agree on that.
Yeah.
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 You know what happened in 1986? Ronald Reagan signed a bill that made Big Pharma
Goddamn.
immune to lawsuits because Big Pharma was about to say, fuck making vaccines. Too many people are suing us. So Ronald Reagan had to come in and say, keep making them. I'll make a bill where no one can sue you.
No, but they can't be sued. That didn't.
They
that-
can't be sued.
The
They can't
Big
be
Pharma,
sued.
Big Pharma gets
Look
sued all
into
the
it.
time.
They
Look
don't
at
get
Vioxx
sued. They
or whatever
can't
it's called.
for vaccines.
Oh,
for
vaccines.
vaccines.
Oh, okay.
They can't get sued for vaccines. If you want to sue anybody for vaccines, if your kid gets fucked up from vaccines, you go to the vaccine court. It's a federal agency where they give out I don't know how many fucking billions of goddamn
people
dollars.
have allergic reactions to
Of
vaccines.
course, of
Yeah.
course.
People have
Of course.
allergic reactions
But
to
why?
peanuts.
But you
Yes.
can't. But
Peanut
not.
butter.
But since
But they do save
1986, what happened is since 1986, since Big Pharma said shit, we can't get sued. That's when, if you actually look at vaccines and not just go polio. What about polio? What about smallpox? When you look at what happened, they fucking greenlit. They're like each vaccine's
'Cause
worth
you can
like $1
make
trillion,
money. Yeah.
and they went
That makes
bing,
sense.
bing, bing.
Yeah.
So now the kids
Jim,
have 36
Callen
fucking
convinced.
shots.
64.
It's crazy.
No, but that's
that's the
but that's
problem.
reasonable. So that would make sense. So if you said to me, "Hey, Bryan, once the pharmaceutical companies saw that there was a lot of money in giving, preventative vaccines, and it goes up to 64 when it used to be 6 or 10 or whatever when I was a kid. Yeah. Now you go, oh, well, that makes sense, because what does big pharma do? They manipulate the FDA. They manipulate government.
CDC.
Yes.
They own the CDC.
So that they
Brian,
can
what
then
you're saying
make
sounds
money.
very much like a conspiracy.
No,
Yes,
no.
Callen slowly.
All of a
He's
sudden,
going towards
all of a sudden he's
all of a
fucking.
sudden,
No,
he's
That's
Alex
right.
Jones.
It's the weed
Black
setting.
helicopter.
It's the weed.
No,
The weed said
Callen switched teams.
You don't even know what Operation
That's not-
Mockingbird
that's
is.
not- that's
You
not-
don't know that
that's
you're
not
caught
cons-
in a CIA
hold on,
operation.
hold
You don't
on.
even know that.
You don't know
Hold
what the
on.
Mockingbird is.
That's not
then.
conspiracy. That makes sense from a business point of view, which I can understand is insidious when you have huge corporations in cahoots with government.
And
Yeah.
they're fucking
Fucking
green line
crazy.
vaccines that are dangerous and shit. They don't care. We can't get sued. Why test? They're green. They're convincing the CDC with money. Hey, pass this motherfucker really quick.
Major points
Yes.
for using in cahoots in a sentence correctly.
In
5,000 points.
Hey,
Sir.
it's just common sense. It's
Common
a racket.
sense, really.
They own the media. You don't think the fucking people that run shit own the media? You gotta be an idiot to fucking
Yeah.
not think the people that run shit own the media, own entertainment,
kick this
own
thing off
everything.
Hold on. It
They
doesn't
own it.
mean
We can
it
come-
doesn't
we can
mean
bring it back.
Gangsters.
Hold on, listen.
They would be
We're getting
idiots.
this out
People
right
that
now.
run
But
the
hey,
shit don't own the fucking
Eddie,
media.
Eddie,
You don't own the TV,
Eddie,
you dumb motherfucker.
I'm with you, Eddie.
on.
I'm
And
with
it
you.
doesn't mean that you can't get credible information on a lot of topics, like the economy, like the war, whatever it is. If you know where to look, it doesn't mean you can't get credible information on the
I never
truth
said that.
of what's going
I
on.
never
That's what
said
I'm
that.
saying.
Hey, but
right?
I'm not saying that,
but to Eddie's point,
that
some of
shit,
them have an
Washington
agenda,
Post is all,
right?
They're controlled. All that.
Well, they're very
all-
liberal.
The mainstream media is all controlled. That ain't real shit. That's all controlled. It's part of the agenda. It's all slowly, inch by inch, take away the guns and let's control everybody and implode economies, fucking start civil wars. They love that shit.
But I
the
don't
people
think
at
they
the top.
like that. I think that
They love that
if you
shit.
said to me that the mainstream media, on whether it's on the right or the left, has agendas and has been corrupted and has allowed their own personal points of view to infiltrate the news, and so report unfairly, and so report in a biased fashion, and the news is no longer as objective as it was or should be.
I think
now,
it's a sham.
Now that makes sense. If you say, for example, that GTE or GE owns certain news organizations, then that's a conflict of, or could be a conflict of interest, and we have to be very careful because they may not report on GE's practices if they're irresponsible. Now I can have a conversation because that would make sense to me. That would make sense but when you say that everybody in the New York Times, the Washington Post is
I didn't say
a CIA
everybody. This is what
pawn,
I'm saying.
you know.
This is what I'm saying. There's an operation that the CIA. This is not a conspiracy theory.
Right.
Operation Mockingbird. There's an Operation Paperclip taking all the Nazis after World War II. Operation Paperclip taking thousands of Nazi scientists into the government and creating NASA Nazi scientists, and you believe. They're masters of propaganda. The Nazis were masters. They put out films just to get people the people to get used to killing people. Like if they were a certain condition, they put out propaganda films, and you can watch this shit of deranged people on the street killing people. People thought they would watch these newsreels and they thought there was demented people on the streets killing people, and that was never happening. They just wanted the people to agree that we can kill those people, right?
crazy,
Yeah, because they're crazy. No one's killing anybody, but it was all part of a propaganda
Can I
agenda.
give you a little perspective on that? So Einstein came from Germany, and a lot of the Jewish scientists in the 30s, when there was this rise of anti-Semitism, immigrated to the United States.
What about the Nazis
and to the
forming
UK?
They
NASA?
did, but
NASA.
Operation
What about
Paperclip
that?
was not.
Yes,
that
and then,
was.
and then
What
and
about
then
that?
when we realized that the
haven't
Nazis were very close to creating a nuclear bomb, that they had some really amazing scientists.
Amazing.
Well, they knew a lot of stuff. There was a real scientific tradition. Remember, that's where Einstein came out of. A lot of. In fact, the anti-Semitism that rose up in the 30s is why a lot of historians have credited the United States' ability to create a nuclear bomb before the Nazis because of that immigration. So anti-Semitism in Germany actually pushed a lot of these brilliant scientists toward the UK, toward the United States.
Didn't a bunch of the Nazi guys go to Russia as well?
Yeah,
Didn't they go
half
to the
of
Russian
them,
space
half of them went to
program?
Russia.
Well,
half of them went to the States.
Probably when
Operation
Russia annexed.
Paperclip.
Well,
That's
probably
another
when
one.
Russia took half of Germany. Remember? So there was
Yeah.
East Berlin and West
Yeah,
Berlin.
that was
East Germany, West Germany. So when they took East Germany, nobody's getting out of East Germany.
It was understandably. Look, if you're going to be intelligent and pragmatic, and the war is essentially over, right? It's understandable to want to get their brightest minds,
Of course.
and bring them over. Of
course.
you've already conquered them, right? This is post World War II. To let them linger and become used by the establishment that you just defeated, that's crazy. Like, these are super geniuses. If you're a genius,
Dude, these guys
If you-
were
but-
fucking
but-
torturing people and
the-
experimenting on people.
Not
These guys
these
were
physicists.
sociopaths.
well,
They were
who
fucking
knows?
Not all of
We
them.
don't listen. We don't know. We don't know. But I do know that the Simon Wiesenthal Center said that if Werner von Braun, who was the head of NASA, if Werner von Braun was alive today, they would prosecute him for crimes against humanity.
Because he was instrumental in coming up with weaponry that killed a lot of, the Allies.
It was that. It was also that they hung the 5 slowest Jews every day in front of his rocket
What do you mean
factory in
slowest?
Berlin. The ones who worked the
for
slowest.
motivation.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Brendan.
They would hang them.
It's intense.
These guys remembered
These
it. These
guys
guys who lived in
ran
Miami.
NASA.
The guys who lived in Miami.
Come on.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. But going to Mars should be one of the next series of steps that humans do. The first.